Welcome back to Thunderwings Flightcast, where we combine real aviation, flight sim, and just enough insanity to make your GPU sweat. Today's episode is called F-35 at the Front Door, The Legend of Fry. You're about to see an F-35B in STOVL mode, hovering about 10 feet off the ground in the Sacramento neighborhood, literally at the doorstep of a house. With me, as always, is F-22 ace, Troublemaker, and our in-house technician, LiL TAB. And today we're talking about one of her closest friends and one of the best pilots flying in our universe, F-35B Super Ace Fry. He's not on mic today, but this whole mission is built around him.
Hey everybody, yeah, this one is personal. Fry is one of those pilots where you look at his logbook and you're like, okay, that's not a career, that's a Marvel origin story. So this is his F-35B, his mission, and we're going to break down what he's doing in that jet while you watch it hover basically on somebody's driveway.
Right, let's answer the question everybody's already typing in the comments. Why is a 5th generation stealth fighter hovering 10 feet off the ground in a Sacramento neighborhood? Give us the story setup.
So in this scenario, this is a fully cleared one-time outreach and demo mission. The jet is visiting a student named Maya who lives in that neighborhood. She's a high school coding prodigy. She built a threat visualization plugin for a sim used in a joint training event. That little project ended up helping crews understand how air defenses are layered in dense cities, including low-level SAMs, short-range systems, and drone threats. That got picked up by a defense innovation program. So the why is simple. They're not just saying thank you with a plaque. They're saying thank you by sending the actual aeroplane she helped make smarter to her front doorstep.
And the guy flying it is your friend, the legend himself.
Yep. If you're going to hover a 30,000-pound stealth jet over someone's lawn, you pick the pilot with the calmest hands in the fleet. That's Fry. Highly decorated, tons of combat time, test work, carrier ops, and somehow still one of the most humble people you'll ever meet.
Let's talk about what he's actually doing in there. We're watching the F-35B slide in over the river, nose high, then settle in front of the house. From his perspective, what's happening?
Okay, so he comes in with some forward speed, nice and controlled, and then he selects STOVL mode. That's where the F-35B does its party trick. Under the skin, you've got a big shaft-driven lift fan behind the cockpit. The doors on top open, the fan spools up, the main engine nozzle swivels downward, and roll posts out in the wings start pushing air for balance. Now, technically that sounds like a juggling act, but the flight control computers are doing a ton of the work. What Fry is focused on is attitude, position, and staying inside the landing box. He's basically backing the jet into a hover like he's parking a pickup truck in a driveway, except the truck is a stealth fighter with classified avionics and a turbine hurricane blasting the backyard.
So how hard is that? Is he wrestling it the whole time, or is the jet helping him?
The jet helps a lot. Compared to the old Harrier days, the F-35B is a dream. As long as he doesn't get greedy with control inputs, it's surprisingly stable. The control laws smooth out the twitchiness. But don't let that fool you. At 10 feet off the ground, over houses, there is zero margin for oops. He's watching descent rate, drift, wind gusts bouncing off houses and trees, one lapse, one sloppy input, and you're going to have an F-35 size problem on the HOA report.
Let's flip it to tactics. Same airplane, same Sacramento skyline. If this wasn't a PR demo for Maya, but a real urban mission, what does an F-35 bring to the fight that a legacy jet doesn't?
2 words, sensor fusion. Old jets give you a lot of separate information. Radar here, infrared there, EW over in another display, data link somewhere else. The pilot is the fusion engine. In the F-35, the jet itself is doing that fusion. Radar, IR, electronic warfare sensors, data links all get blended into one coherent picture on the helmet and the screens. Over a city, that means the airplane is tracking air threats, ground emitters, potential drone activity, even low, slow movers weaving through buildings. So imagine Sacramento, power lines, buildings, freeways, tons of clutter. While we're watching this in the video as a cool hover shot, the jet could be building a layered map of everything that matters out to a pretty significant radius.
And stealth factors into that too, right?
Yup, the low observability buys you time. In an urban setting, that time is golden because you've got civilians, friendlies, and threats all mixed together. The whole point is to see them before they see you, so you can be more selective, not more destructive.
All right, let's touch weapons. In this video, we're not dropping anything on Sacramento. But if this were a real mission, what kind of weapon setup might Fry be carrying into a city?
For a stealthy urban mission, he's keeping stores internal. That keeps the radar cross-section low. Think precision-guided bombs for ground targets and air-to-air missiles for self-defense. The philosophy is important: maximum information, minimum force. The F-35 sensors help confirm what's what before you commit. You don't want guesswork when there are apartment buildings, schools, and friendlies around. The thing about a pilot like Fry is he's not just good at pulling Gs, he's disciplined about when not to shoot. That's the real sign of a pro, knowing when you have enough information to act and when you don't.
For the tech nerds, let's dig into radar and stealth during that hover by the house. What's going on there?
Stealth on the F-35 is a combo of shaping, materials, and how you carry weapons. The aeroplane is designed so that radar energy that hits it doesn't just bounce straight back to the emitter. It gets scattered, absorbed, redirected. During that hover shot, the radar and IR systems could still be working. The radar can run in modes that quietly scan for other aircraft and threats, while the electro-optical system is looking around in multiple directions. The funny contrast is this. To the neighbor filming with their phone, it's the loudest, most obvious thing on the planet. To a long-range radar, if he's configured correctly, he's a small, confusing target that can be hard to separate from background noise.
So to civilians, he's a rock star. To enemy radars, he's that weird blip that doesn't behave the way they expect.
Exactly, and that's deliberate. The whole F-35 idea is to control when and how you're detected. A guy like Bry is using that to manage risk not just for himself, but for everyone else in the airspace.
All right, as we roll these last clips, we see Fry easing the F-35 back, adding a little power, transitioning out of STOVL, and blasting out over the Sacramento River, disappearing into the haze. Any last thoughts on your friend before we close this out?
Just this. People see the crazy flyby and think it's all about nerves of steel. And yeah, he's got that. But the real reason someone like Fry gets to fly this mission is judgment. He's the guy you trust to do something this precise, this public, and make it look easy while keeping everybody safe. Well said.
If you want us to do more deep dives like this, maybe a full breakdown on how we'd run a joint mission with LiL TAB's F-22 and his F-35, drop that in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next Thunderwings Flightcast. We'll see you on the next sortie.